Yo, Chris from Watching the Throne here. I wanted to do this thing. I thought it would be kind of fun for us to do as a community, you know? Um, Hot New Hip Hop put out Kanye West 20 Best College Dropout Era Beats. So I thought we could go through the list here and then make another video where I rank each of these. And then y'all can do your own rankings, and on that video in the comments section can post the rankings, and we can kind of have a discussion about it. So if you want to participate, just get ready to listen to these 20 songs and then rank them. So let's go through what the 20 songs are. Thanks to Jabril for putting this together. We get first Through the Wire. Of course, I think everyone that's watching this video has heard Through the Wire. If you haven't, I don't know what you're doing watching this video. Go listen to Through the fucking Wire. Next up, we got Jay-Z's Lucifer, which Lucifer was actually the first Jay-Z song that I felt like I discovered and loved. I'd heard the radio songs, of course, but when I finally started listening to Jay-Z's albums, that was the one I was just like, oh shit. And at that point, I didn't really know Kanye, and I certainly wasn't like a Kanye fan to the point where I have a Kanye podcast and YouTube channel, but I just remember always loving that song and had no idea that Kanye was attached to it until years and years later. Ludacris Stand Up, which is a song I've actually never heard before. Scarface, Guess Who's Back, also haven't heard before. Mos Def, Brown Sugar. Believe it or not, as much as I love Black Star, right? Mos Def and Quelly, I just think that album is one of the best albums. I listen to it still all the time. I've actually never taken the next step and listened to Mos Def or Talib's single albums or like solo albums, which just seems like absurd. So this is a song I don't think I've also heard before. Freeway, Turn Out the Lights. I don't think so either. Trina featuring Ludacris, Be Alright. No. Mos Def, Sunshine. No. Spaceship. Yeah, I fucking heard Spaceship. I'm sure you have as well. So I think Spaceship's probably going to rank pretty highly, same as Through the Wire. We get Janet Jackson's I Want You. This is probably a song I heard at some point in time because it was probably on the radio or being played somewhere. Kanye West, All Falls Down. Yeah. Is one of Kanye's best songs. It really is. And, oh man, if you haven't listened to our podcast episode on All Falls Down, there's something that Kanye does in that song that to me is one of my favorite things that Kanye's ever done. And it's how he uses a interpolation of a Biggie song to then play in a line to bring a bit of dramatic irony to hip-hop's infatuation with the materialistic, which is just a really cool maneuver that adds more depth to the song that you only get when you start looking into his use of samples and how they apply to the song rather than just reading the lyrics as they are. Kanye, man, on a whole other level. Then we get Monica's Knock Knock. No. Jay-Z, yeah, '03 Bonnie and Clyde, who, yeah, of course. Also a great beat. Also something I'm sure I knew at one point, like it's vaguely in the back of my mind I knew Kanye did the song, but it's just a good reminder of how awesome, a cat just ran by my window, how awesome this era of Kanye was, and just how immense his impact on music was from a production standpoint. Janet Jackson, Strawberry Bounce. T.I., Let Me Tell You Something. No. So this is going to be a pretty fun experience as somebody that hasn't listened to over half of these songs, just getting to go through and appreciate this part of Kanye's musical career. Two Words, of course. Cameron's Dipset Forever. I feel like this is one I also had to have heard at some point in time. And then Get By. I've definitely heard Get By. Like, it's hard not to hear Get By at some point in time. And then John Legend, Let's Get Lifted. No, I haven't listened to any John Legend albums either. And then Family Business closes things out. So that's going to be the 20 songs that made up this hot new hip-hop list that we're going to go through for the follow-up video. I'll listen to these, rank them. You also rank them 1 to 20. and we'll come back and explore what makes the top and what makes the bottom. I'm sure there's not going to be a bad song, right? It's not going to be like whatever's at 20s, a horrible song. It's just going to be personal tastes and what each of us likes the best, you know? So if you want to take part in that, look forward to the next video in the coming days, and we'll be back soon there. Also, on a side note, our podcast, we just released the Slow Jams episode today. I guess it's the 20th now. 2 days ago? Oh, geez. I'm behind schedule. But the Slow Jams episode is out. We recorded the new workout plan episode today, so look for that next week. But we are in the midst of finishing up The Life of Pablo and going back through the College Dropout. So for the next few months, both of those albums are going to be the focus of the podcast proper. And then if you want to support what it is we're doing, we currently have a Kickstarter going on. There's just 16 days left. We're trying to reach a goal of $1,600. And that's because we need some new equipment. The mic that I have here, the Yeti mic, it's 3.5 years old. It's kind of failing. Travis's equipment is also having issues. So we're just looking to upgrade to the professional level. Like, we got these things before the podcast was anything. And now that we're putting out content consistently and wanting to reach that next level of professional quality and increased quality for all y'all, and when you're spending all this time listening to us, this is the next step. So we just need 3 pieces of equipment, a set for myself, a set for Travis, and we'll be good to go. It just so happens that equipment is expensive. So if you want to help us out, $1 goes a long way, but we also have a few rewards. For $5, you just get a shout out on the podcast or on the YouTube channel. For $10, you get a shout out and request us to shout something out, right? If that's your business, an album that you made, a website that you have, your social media, a loved one, or just like, Kanye, you're the best. Anything like that, we'll do that. So some free advertising on the podcast or on the YouTube channel. And then for $50, you can join a special episode council. There's only 17 spots left there, which a lot of spots left. But you get to participate in us creating some special content for the podcast or for YouTube and helping us figure out what we're going to cover. And that content jumps the line of other things that we have planned. So that will come out sooner, whether that's going over music videos, an album, a non-album track that we haven't covered yet, something else entirely. You can dictate that. So, and you'll help us make future decisions on the show in general. So if you want to join that, that's the way to do that. And then we have 1 spot left for Stories. Stories are a one-on-one interview with myself or with Travis, where we talk with you about your journey with Kanye's music. We've interviewed fans, we've interviewed professionals with their opinion on Kanye, journalists, scholars, teachers, professors, other artists, people who have worked with Kanye. So there's a whole gamut, and it's pretty fun. You can check out some of the older ones on the YouTube channel, or also go to our podcast to find some of the newer ones that we've done. When was the most recent one? Travis Greer, a journalist, was a recent one, and then we also had a story with Nino Blue, who actually got to be in the studio with Kanye working on Yandi. So if you want that 1 spot left, we may open it up for more if there's some demand. But as of right now, there's just that spot left. So if you want to help the channel, that's the way to do it. And if money, you can just like or subscribe. That goes a long, long way in telling YouTube that what we're doing is valuable and that people enjoy it. So thank you very much for taking the time. If you have any content requests, let me know in the comments, and I will get to it eventually. If not, just pester me. Keep it wavy.